Keki and Daruwalla's poem Railroad Reveries is a record of random thoughts that pass through the mind of a railway passenger. The poet is traveling by a train and he has to spend a whole night in the compartment in which he has got a berth. Various thoughts occur to his mind in the course of his journey, which has just started. Physically, he is hale and hearty, and as he has got the needful clothes, he is quite warm and comfortable. However, everybody is not in the same fortunate position as he is. There are people who have not slept for many nights. There is a girl squeezing herself in order to find some warmth, which, however, is not within her reach. There are beggars who are wailing and grumbling because they have not had any food. There are persons holding tumblers of tea in their hands, but they can hardly hold the tumblers because they are suffering from arthritis. On a railway platform, on the way is a bitch with a sad expression in its eyes. The urchins loafing about on the platform tease and kick the bitch, which the bitch does not react. With its head drooping and its eyes bored, it walks away. There is a blind boy begging on a platform. The poet would like to give him a coin, but he is unable to make up his mind about it. The boy has passed on to the next compartment, and now it is too late for the passenger to give him that coin. The poet's journey is to end next morning, and he would then get down from the train. During the night, he would have some company on his berth. There would be a bedbug to keep him company, and also a greasy feeling of doubt. This poem of Keki and Daruwalla has considerable psychological interest. What does a man think about when he is lying on a berth in a railway compartment and when he expects to fall asleep? It all depends on what kind of a person the passenger is. The passenger in this case is not thinking of any of those things which common people like ourselves would think of. People of our kind would think of their monetary troubles, their family problems, the sickness of some relative, the difficulties which they are facing in their offices, their quarrels with their relatives or their neighbors, and so on. But the railway passenger in this poem is thinking of absolutely different matters. This passenger seems to have a philosophical bent of mind, and he is most probably the poet himself. The kind of thoughts that he is having show him to be sensitive kind of man who feels uneasy to think of other people's trouble, like a girl feeling cold and unable to keep herself warm, and beggars winning because they have not had enough food. Besides the thoughts which pass through the railway passenger's mind, there is the imagery which lends interest to the poem. In fact, the poem contains a series of images. One of the images which stand out in the poem is that of the sad-eyed bitch. The sad-eyed bitch upon the platform, kicked about by urchins doesn't squeal, head drooping, eyes bored, she walks away. The picture of the blind boy with his begging bowl is also noteworthy. The railway passenger feels somewhat hostile to him at first, and then he describes his hostility as impersonal and anonymous. His hostility, he tells us, is directed more against the weight of time than against the blind boy. He feels like giving a coin to the blind boy, but before he can make up his mind about it, the boy has passed on to the next window, and the passenger depicts the state of his mind realistically and convincingly by saying, it would lack dignity, chasing him now, to foist a coin on him. Like many other poems by Daruwalla, this poem has also been written without a single mark of punctuation, and of course it goes without saying that the poem is written in free verse.